You are eating healthy foods like tofu and low-fat yogurt, but you're still getting weaker. What if I told you that you are not eating the wrong foods, you are just breaking the new rules of eating after 60? Today we are not just listing foods. We are revealing a Japanese doctor's 5 golden rules of eating to protect and to rebuild your muscles. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. And to be our guide through these profound and often missed rules of nutrition, we are joined by a physician who has spent his life teaching the wisdom of how we eat, not just what we eat. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. The story of these 5 rules is the story of a patient of mine. We will call him Thomas. On paper, he was the perfect patient. He was active, he ate all of the clean foods like tofu and oat milk, but his strength was vanishing. He could no longer climb a single flight of stairs without feeling winded and sore for days. His powerful story is the story of these 5 broken rules. And today, we will follow him to uncover the truth.
That is a powerful and a very important story that I know so many of our viewers can relate to. And that is exactly how our guide is structured for you today. In this detailed masterclass, Dr. Hinohara is going to teach us these 5 essential golden rules of eating for strength after 60. And for each rule, we will use a common, healthy food as a case study to show you exactly how to apply this wisdom in your own life. It is a true blessing to have this kind of knowledge, to be able to approach our meals not with confusion, but with a new sense of clarity and of confidence. If you are ready to learn the new rules of eating for strength after the age of 60, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free. And this is a deep dive into the true art of nourishing your body that you will not want to miss. Okay, doctor, let's begin the anabolic resistance protocol. Our patient Robert was doing what he thought was the perfect thing for his muscles, eating 3 eggs, which is a high-protein meal every single morning. So what was the first and most important thing that was missing from his good diet? What is upgrade module number 1?
Yes, the protein that comes from eggs is a wonderful and a very beautiful gift to the body in the morning. But it is a very fast-acting gift. An aging body, to be able to stay in a state of rebuilding and not of breakdown, also needs a slow and a very steady supply of protein to be able to prevent muscle breakdown in the long hours that happen between our meals. Robert was completely missing the slow-release protein upgrade. And our 2 champion foods for this very important upgrade are plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt and cottage cheese.
And this is such a critical and a very important concept for every senior to understand. Let's look at the beautiful science of protein digestion speed. The protein that is in an egg, and also the whey protein that you find in so many of the popular protein shakes, is what we call a fast digesting protein. It is absorbed very, very quickly into your bloodstream. And this is wonderful for giving your muscles an immediate wake-up call right after a meal or right after you exercise. But the protein that is found in Greek yogurt and in cottage cheese is primarily a different and a very special type of protein that is called casein. And casein protein is very special. When it enters your stomach, it forms a thick gel-like substance. And because of this, it is digested very, very slowly over many, many hours. You can think of it in this simple way. The fast protein that comes from the egg is like the spark that starts the muscle-building fire. But the beautiful slow protein that comes from the casein is like the slow-burning log that you put on the fire to keep it burning steadily and consistently for the entire day. For a senior who is fighting against that constant and silent pull of muscle breakdown, this slow-burning log is absolutely essential.
So the casein provides that beautiful, sustained release of the amino acids. Let's talk about the Greek yogurt specifically. What makes it such a powerhouse for our muscles?
The Greek yogurt, as the source text for our video so wisely notes, provides about 20 grams of this beautiful protein in a single cup. And very importantly for a senior, it is a very rich source of that ignition switch amino acid that we talk about so often, leucine. And of course, the Greek yogurt also contains the wonderful probiotics that are so very important for a healthy gut, which helps us to be able to absorb all of our other nutrients much better.
And what about the cottage cheese? Doctor, I know this is a food that is making a big and a very welcome comeback, especially for a weekend breakfast.
Yes, the simple cottage cheese is perhaps even more powerful for this specific job. A single cup of a good high-quality cottage cheese can provide up to 25 grams of that beautiful slow-release casein protein. And as we will discuss in another video, it is exceptionally rich in the important amino acid glutamine, which is another very important nutrient for both our muscle health and for our immune health.
So for our patient Robert, the very first step in his journey was to not remove his eggs, but to simply upgrade his breakfast. We had him eat 2 of his beloved eggs instead of 3, and to have a small and a very simple bowl of the plain Greek yogurt on the side. With this simple change, he was now getting both the spark to start the fire and the slow-burning log to be able to keep it going. He was finally giving his muscles the complete and the sustained support that they needed to last the entire morning.
It is a truly blessed and a very wise design to see how these different and beautiful foods from nature provide different types of nourishment that our bodies need at different times. So our first 2 golden rules are very profound. We must always give our protein a helpful partner like a healthy fat or gentle acid to aid in digestion. And we must always respect our digestion by choosing fermented foods like miso or tempeh when possible. Doctor, what was the 3rd golden rule that our patient Thomas was unknowingly breaking?
Thomas's next mistake was a very common one, and it is a mistake that comes from a deep and an often misplaced fear of fat. He was only eating fat-free yogurt, and he was only drinking skim milk, and in doing so, he was breaking golden rule number 3. You must never strip a food of its natural intelligence. He believed, as many people were taught for decades, that removing the fat from his dairy was a heart-healthy choice. But he did not understand what else he was removing at the same time.
And this is such a critical point for our viewers to understand. Nature is very intelligent. It often packages foods with all of the different components that are needed to be able to work together in harmony. When the food companies strip the fat out of a dairy product, they are not just removing the fat, they are also removing all of the essential fat-soluble vitamins that are carried in that fat. This includes vitamin A, vitamin E, and most importantly for our conversation today, vitamin D and vitamin K2. As we have discussed in many of our videos on this channel, these 2 vitamins are absolutely essential for your muscle and for your bone health. Vitamin D is critical for proper muscle function, and vitamin K2 is the vitamin that helps to guide the calcium. So by choosing the low-fat version of the yogurt, Thomas was throwing away the very vitamins that make the calcium in the dairy useful to his body. And to make things even worse, when the food companies remove the fat, they almost always add back a large amount of sugar or artificial sweeteners to make it taste good again. And as we are about to discuss, this added sugar is powerfully inflammatory.
So, what is our 4th golden rule, Doctor? I know this one is also about that inflammatory sugar.
Yes, Thomas loved to eat white rice with his meals because he told me that it was easy for him to digest. And in doing so, he was breaking golden rule number 4. You must always choose slow energy, not fast energy.
And this is a concept that is so very important for our long-term muscle health. Refined carbohydrates like white rice, white bread, and white pasta are what we call fast energy, because all of their natural fiber has been removed during the industrial processing. They are digested very, very quickly, and this causes a very large and a very rapid spike in your blood sugar and in your insulin levels.
And this big insulin spike is a very pro-inflammatory event in your body. And as we now know, chronic inflammation is a direct and a very powerful signal that accelerates the process of muscle breakdown, or what we call catabolism. So by eating these fast refined carbohydrates every day, Thomas was creating a constant inflammatory environment in his body that was working directly against his goal of building and of preserving his precious muscle.
So the simple and the wise solution is to swap these fast energy carbohydrates for the beautiful and the slow energy of whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, or traditional barley. The wonderful fiber that is in these whole grains acts as a brake on your digestion. It provides your body with a slow and a very steady release of energy, which keeps your blood sugar stable and keeps your body in a calm and an anti-inflammatory state. It is a truly blessed thing to have so many of these beautiful whole and unprocessed foods from nature to choose from. This is such a complete nutritional philosophy, Doctor. We love sharing it with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So, our first 4 golden rules have taught us so much about how to eat for strength. We must give our protein a partner. We must respect our digestion with fermentation. We must never strip a food of its natural intelligence. And we must always choose slow energy over fast energy. This now brings us to our 5th and final golden rule. And this rule is all about rhythm and about timing. The final rule is golden rule number 5. You must honor your body's nightly repair cycle.
And this was the final mistake that our patient Thomas was making in his daily routine. Tell us about that, doctor.
Yes, Thomas, like so many people, would end his day by eating a large ripe banana right before he went to bed. He thought this was a healthy snack that would help him to avoid getting leg cramps during the night. And he thought he was making a very healthy choice.
And while a banana can be a very healthy food, the timing of when you eat it is so incredibly critical, especially when it comes to building and repairing your muscles. Let's look at the beautiful science of what is happening in your body while you sleep. As we have discussed in our video on bedtime snacks, the vast majority of your body's important muscle and tissue repair happens when you are in your deep restorative stages of sleep. And this entire repair process is driven by your body's natural nightly release of growth hormone. This is the primary hormone that signals to your body to begin the important work of rebuilding. But here's the important secret. The release of this precious growth hormone is very, very sensitive to your blood sugar levels. If your blood sugar is high when you go to sleep, your body will be forced to release a large amount of the hormone insulin to manage that sugar. And high levels of insulin can significantly suppress the release of your growth hormone. So by eating a high sugar fruit like a ripe banana right before he went to bed, Thomas was unintentionally turning off the lights in his body's repair center. He was creating the exact opposite effect of what he wanted.
So what is the wise solution for a person who wants a small and a healthy, sweet snack in the evening?
The wise solution is to have your fruit at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep to give your body time to be able to process the sugar. And it is always much better to choose a low sugar fruit like a few beautiful berries or a simple kiwi, or as we have discussed in another video, a small cup of unsweetened tart cherry juice is a wonderful choice for the evening, as it can actually help to support your body's own natural melatonin production and can help you to sleep more deeply. Now, doctor, let's go back one final time to our patient Thomas. What was the final result for him after he had learned to follow all 5 of these profound golden rules?
This is the beautiful conclusion to his healing story. By understanding and by gently fixing all 5 of these broken rules in his daily life, by adding a healthy fat to his chicken, by choosing the fermented soy, by eating a full-fat yogurt, by swapping his white rice for quinoa, and by changing his evening fruit habit, Thomas's strength finally and truly began to return. After a few months, he came to my office and he told me something that I will never forget. He said I was not eating the wrong foods, doctor. I was just using them with the wrong wisdom.
That is a truly profound and a very beautiful lesson for all of us. So to summarize for our viewers at home, what does a perfect muscle-building complete plate look like following all of these wise rules?
A perfect plate has a good and a clean source of protein that is served with its healthy fat and its gentle acid partners. It has a side of beautiful, slow energy, whole grains or colorful vegetables. And it is made with whole foods in their most natural and unprocessed state. It is a simple, balanced, and a very harmonious meal. It is a truly beautiful and a blessed vision of a meal that is designed not just to fill us up, but to truly heal and to build us up from the inside out.
Doctor, this has been an incredible and a very profound masterclass. You have taught us that the key to fighting back against sarcopenia is often not about eating completely different foods, but it is about eating our everyday foods with a different and a much greater wisdom. Your 5 golden rules of eating provide a complete and a very powerful philosophy for preventing age-related muscle loss. This is such a hopeful message for anyone watching who has been afraid of sarcopenia and the loss of independence that it can bring. This important knowledge is a true cornerstone of a proactive strategy to both prevent and to help reverse muscle loss using gentle and consistent daily habits. It is a practical food-first way to give your body the complete set of tools that it needs to resist sarcopenia and to truly nourish its strength in a mindful and in a very harmonious way. Now, doctor, these 5 golden rules are a life-changing philosophy. To make it incredibly practical for our viewers at home, can you now walk us through a sample golden rules day of eating? What would that look like?
Of course. A day of eating with wisdom is a day of eating with joy. It can be very simple. For your breakfast, you will honor golden rule number 1 and number 3. You can have 2 beautiful soft scrambled eggs, which is your protein, but you will cook them in a little bit of grass-fed butter, which is its healthy fat partner. And on the side, you can have a small and a very satisfying bowl of a full-fat plain Greek yogurt with a few fresh berries. You have now honored the intelligence of the whole food. For your lunch, you will honor golden rule number 1, number 2, and number 4. You can have a beautiful large salad. The base will be dark leafy greens, and on top of that, you will have a generous scoop of a delicious tempeh salad. Tempeh is a fermented soy, so you are respecting your digestion. For your dressing, you will use a simple olive oil and some lemon juice, which are the partners for the protein. And on the side, you can have a small portion of beautiful slow-energy quinoa. And finally, for your dinner, you will honor golden rule number 1, number 4, and number 5. You can have a very light and an easy-to-digest meal. A simple 3-ounce piece of a gently poached chicken, drizzled with a little bit of olive oil and some fresh lemon juice. On the side, you will have some steamed vegetables and a very small portion of brown rice. And it is very important that you eat this beautiful meal at least 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep to honor your nightly repair cycle.
That is a perfect and a delicious daily blueprint. Now, beyond the plate, doctor, what other simple lifestyle habits are the perfect partners for this way of eating?
First is gentle movement. The food provides the beautiful building blocks for your muscles, but a gentle resistance training is the foreman on a construction site that tells the body to actually build. The rules of eating must always be partnered with the rules of movement. Second is hydration. All of these beautiful nutrients that you are eating need a river to be able to travel on to get to your muscles. You must be drinking plenty of clean water throughout the day to be able to transport these precious building blocks. And third is mindful eating. You cannot follow all of these beautiful rules with your food choices and then eat your meal in a state of stress. You must eat slowly. You must chew your food. And you must be present and grateful. A calm body is able to absorb nutrients much more efficiently.
So the food, the movement, the water, and the calm mind all work together.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. Longevity and strength are not found in restriction. They are found in harmony. When you learn these 5 simple rules, you can eat with great joy and with great confidence, knowing that every single meal is a beautiful message of strength and of healing to your body.
That is a beautiful message, doctor. To eat with joy and with confidence. It's a wonderful reminder to be good stewards of our health by applying this blessed and profound wisdom to the simple daily act of eating. And of course, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your personal doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have any existing health conditions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes. If you found this guide empowering and it completely changed the way that you think about your healthy foods, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information, and be sure to share it with a friend or a family member. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free, and it ensures you will not miss our next deep dive into your health and well-being. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, which of the 5 golden rules was the biggest aha moment or the most surprising lesson for you? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. Be well.